Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Friday, August 9th, 2024. It is an incredible section of the Jewish calendar that we find ourselves in. It is an incredible thing that we have created for 4.5 years. It's good to see you here, Penny and Adele. It's broadcast 1112. Amy, it's good to see you. Hi, Susie. Hope that you and yours are safe and well. We've been coming together for 4.5 years to share Torah, to say good morning, just to see each other every single morning. No small thing. It's Friday, it's Erev Shabbat. Some of us are wearing white. And so let's get ready for Shabbat by doing the holiest thing possible, saying good morning to each other. Kim and Linda, Anna and Barry, Jonathan, Boker Tov. Peter, sending an early Shabbat Shalom to you in Frankfurt. Joyce, good to see you. Rosa, sending love to Malta. It really is good to see you back. Missed you. Rose and Arlene, Dale, Valerie and April, Chana and Lydia, Boker Tov. Hi, Deborah. Natalia, good to see you. Fabrice, sending love to the French Riviera. You're watching with your parents. Welcome, Fabrice's parents. What a gift to have all of you there. We love your son so much. My dear friend Yisrael Campbell is with us from Jerusalem. What a gift to see you, my friend. I miss you. Miss you so much. I want to take a walk very soon. Judy and Debbie, Iris, Penny, Anya and Nancy, Boker Tov. Let's see who else is here. Mordechai, good to see you. Corinne, welcome. Welcome. Hi, Tziona. If I missed anyone, my apologies, friends. It's jumping all around. But Blair and Minna, good to see you. Hi, Cecile. Hi, Sharon. Okay, let's take a breath. We're going to sing a bracha, learn a little bit of Torah, and then we're going to go into Shabbat. A complicated Shabbat, at least, with prayer, with a little bit of hope, with determination, and with a lot of honesty. Joy sending love to Minneapolis. Hi, Fran. Good to see you. Hi, Rhonda. Okay. All right, everybody, good morning, Boker Tov. It is, as Joyce is pointing out, a special Shabbat, not special in the most positive of ways, but on this, our 1112th broadcast, on this, the 308th day since October 7th. We are also about to enter into the intense lead up to Tisha B'Av, the sad day on the Jewish calendar where we mark many tragedies in our history, not only but especially the destruction of the two temples in Jerusalem in 586 BCE and in 70 CE. We mark many different things that Jewish tradition has placed within the mourning period that we are in. This coming week, Monday night and Tuesday, is Tisha B'Av. The 9 days leading up to Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, are called the 9 days, during which we have what is called by experts, psychologists, and ritualists anticipatory grief. My dear friend Rabbi Melanie Levav has a beautiful piece on My Jewish Learning that is the inspiration for some of the teaching that I'll be doing today. But what I want to say before getting to the details of it is the larger concept here. Um, we are in a period of time that leads into Tisha B'Av, and this Shabbat always leading into Tisha B'Av is called Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat of vision. It's the opening words of the Haftarah, the prophetic reading that we do this week. Chazon, a vision of Jerusalem destroyed. It is an incredible, sad thing. And let me not make it better, because that's a little bit inauthentic, but I will quote from a great Rebbe, Doctor Who. For those who are new to the broadcast, you should know that I'm a little bit obsessed with the show Doctor Who. Um, the actor Peter Capaldi, when it was his turn to play this character, Doctor Who, suffers a major loss. And he says, and this is an important line, I might come back to it at the very end of today's broadcast. He says, things end, and that's always sad. Things begin again, and that's really happy. We know that this Shabbat, Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat leading into Tisha B'Av, is a sad one. We know that we are in the 308th day since October 7th. We know that we are still aching for our family to be whole, for our children and grandparents to come home. We know that there's no comparing pains, but the ongoing pain of the country of Ukraine is being felt by countless of displaced people. And my beloved friend Jonathan Ornstein, who's here with us today, who directs the JCC in Krakow, has been at the forefront of responding to that over and over, in addition to responding to all of the more immediate pains. Tisha B'Av is a day that actually absorbs so much of that and gives us a ritual for response. And this is what I want to share. Rabbi Melanie Levav, in her beautiful comment on myjewishlearning.com, which I recommend highly to all of you, regardless of how much you have learned, I find it to be a wellspring of both basic and advanced information. It orients me sometimes. I'm proud to be a contributor, but I am also a very, very grateful student to so much of the wisdom that's on My Jewish Learning. She says that what makes Jewish wisdom so wise is the way that we deal with grief. Think about the stages of grief this is not nice terms, but a conventional loss, a more typical loss, which of course, there's no such thing. But when we lose someone, Jewish tradition has us with the immediate mourning rituals. The burial itself has a very powerful structure. And even if it doesn't make the sadness go away, it shows us a powerful one step at a time process. From that moment of the funeral, we go into Shiva, the 7 days. And those 7 days are intense grief. And from the 7 days, we go to Shloshim, the 30 days, which are still grief-full, but the ritual limitations are a little bit less. And from that 30 days, if it's the loss of a parent, there's an 11-month period of time. And so as we go through the stages of grief, a different, format than is spoken about in psychological circles, but this holds us and guides us, and it's different when it comes to Tisha B'Av and the model that this provides us, because we go from the 3 weeks to the 9 days to the 1 day. And the 1 day Tisha B'Av is the day of the fast, is the day of loss. That is the loss itself, the death and deaths that cause us so much pause are the culmination. This is what psychologists call anticipatory grief. And one of the things that anticipatory grief allows us, it's complicated, but one of the things that anticipatory grief allows us is to prepare. It's to prepare for loss. I know that's a strange thing to say, especially given that grief often is, at least in Jewish terms, in stages. It's not really how grief works, but of lessening restrictions, which might point to a lessening intensity. I'm grateful to be ignorant in a direct way about grief, even though I've been with so many who've gone through it. But listen to the four hallmarks of anticipatory grief that Rabbi Levav lists. Um, and it's fascinating to think about this in terms of our own human process. Number one, accepting that death is inevitable. We're reading Parshat Devarim. Moses is demonstrating that he knows this. He will not enter into the promised land. We always read Parshat Devarim, this week's Torah portion, the beginning of Deuteronomy, right as it's Shabbat Chazon. And so Shabbat Chazon means a vision. What does Moshe see? He knows that he will die. He also is granted a vision of a future for his descendants. May we be blessed, of course, as we understand mortality more and more as we age. It is also true that we can see something beyond ourselves for those to come. That is what we are called to help build and maintain and champion. So the first stage of anticipatory grief are accepting that death is inevitable, feeling concern for the dying person. In Tisha B'Av's example, it's not a person, it's a place personified, Jerusalem representing the welfare of the Jewish people. We say in Kabbalat Shabbat, Friday nights, Rav Lach Shevet Ve'emek Habacha, we say, you've sat too long in the valley of tears, Jerusalem. Uri, Uri, Shir Daberi, get up and sing. Tonight's Kabbalat Shabbat, often a place of great singing in the Jewish community, in shuls and in camps. There are different tones, there are different melodies, at least traditionally speaking. So the first part of anticipatory grief, accepting that death is inevitable. Two, feeling concern for the dying person. Rehearsing the death. When it comes to Tisha B'Av, there are many ways that we begin, not rehearsing the death, that's a little bit too personal. But some people wear clothing that has been worn before, so it's not fresh, clean clothing. Some people stop eating meat 9 days before Tisha B'Av. There are a lot of things we do, friends. A lot of things we do. And also, that last facet that Rabbi Levav lists is important for us. Imagining the future. Imagining the future. So I want to ask you a favor. Challenge you. Maybe inspire myself and us. It's the 308th day since October 7th. This necklace is rusty. I've had it now since the end of October, when I was blessed to go with a bunch of New York rabbis to visit our family in Israel. The favor, the challenge, the call that I will offer is to imagine a future that looks better than right now. Imagine we actually have them home. Imagine we have them home. We're going to go into Tisha B'Av honest and raw. I'll share on that day a broadcast. What I did last year is I sat actually on the floor right over here, reading some of Eicha, some of the Book of Lamentations that we'll read. And I'll read some of it, not all of it. We'll do a live broadcast, Tisha B'Av Eicha. I won't be happy, I won't pick up the guitar. I won't sing the blessing, I'll recite it. There are ways, including just sitting on the ground, that we will go through Tisha B'Av honestly. But imagine a future where everything changes before we get there, my friends. Yes, I acknowledge that I won't live forever. I know that I'll die one day. May it be a long time from now. Rehearsing the death. It's complicated, isn't it? Tradition tells us not to duck this, so we won't. concern for all that will pass. But imagining a future, boy, are we students of Moshe Rabbeinu when we do that. Boy, can we surpass reality. As Golda Meir and David Ben-Gurion and countless leaders of the state of Israel, children of the Jewish people who rose up to be great champions of our own dignity, have shown us. To be a Jew is to believe in the impossible. Well, Tisha B'Av shows us what's possible in the darkest of ways. And we are here, fiercely alive, going into Shabbos to make sure that we remember that what we see in front of us, that's only part of what could be. We can put things in front of us. As the great Elie Wiesel said in an essay called Against Despair, when the world ceases giving Jews reason for hope, Jews invent new reasons for hope. So let's do that, friends. Let's go into Shabbos knowing that this is Shabbat Chazon. This is intense. This is serious. We're going to go through the grief as we are supposed to. But we're also going to, through a process of anticipatory grief, imagine a future. That's what gives us hope. There is a future. Yesh tikva l'acharitech. There is hope for the eventual, says the prophet. So, it's going to be Shabbos, Shabbat Chazon or not. So let's sing something. Let's get ready for Shabbos. We're going to sing, then I'll put the guitar down, we'll sing Hatikva, and we'll say good Shabbos to each other. How about I ask everybody to jump in on the comments and to say something about hope. Friends, with me, send your heart to the east. Here we go. Kol hod balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima Ayin letzion Sophia Od lo avda tikvateinu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim Liot am chovshi be'artzeinu Eretz Zion Virushalayim להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. Good job, his friends. See you on Monday.